Here we go. Coats exist, coats exist, coats exist, coats exist. How's it working? Coats exist, coats exist. Coats exist. Alright, stop! I don't even know if this is working. Okay. Alright. I just want the regular thing here. The regular thing. You know what I noticed about myself is I don't know how to talk. Okay. So this is my first, alright. Hold on. Okay. Okay, we did it. So I got a whole setup now. Professional. What's that? What are you talking about? Hold on. Okay, Jimmy, I started the show already. Sorry, that was my producer. So I'm starting this podcast now, and I'm gonna try to do video instead of. I'm gonna have a really hard time trying not to edit this out, the long pauses and stuff like that. We're just gonna go straight through. So the thing is, okay, here's the thing, is I usually do audio podcasts, so now I'm doing a video one, and I have to like look at this fucking camera now, and it's weird, so I never have to pay attention to my face and what my face does, because I make weird faces and stuff like that, and I do like weird stuff, so I never have to pay attention to that stuff, but now because I'm doing a live video, I'm doing a video, I have to pay attention to my face, sort of, I guess. Well, nobody even watches this, so who cares? Watch this go viral. Watch this thing go viral. That would be insane. What's that, Jimmy? What? I'm on the show. I'm doing the show now. So I figured since I didn't have any topics planned, what I did is I have a forum. I have a website, and I do hand movements, I guess. And I didn't realize that I do hand movements a lot because this is it's like I was an alien my entire life, and now I'm taking over a human body, and I'm like, ooh, I do hand movements. Like, why am I acknowledging that? That's the problem that I have with myself, is I always acknowledge shit that I'm doing because I'm always afraid people are fucking making fun of me, and I'm like, they're not gonna make fun of me first. So I'm like, see, I'm doing the hand movements, and I know that I am. All right, see, now I'm a psycho. I'm not gonna release this. This is not gonna get released because I look like a crazy person. It works with audio. It doesn't work with this, okay? So I'm gonna try to be serious. I'm gonna try to not freak out. So what I did is I have a forum online, and on that forum, there's a bunch of, by the way, cut. Yeah, I know, Jimmy. Give me a second. What is this? Is this even a podcast? I follow on Instagram all these cringe pages, and there's always people thinking they're doing like something funny or cool or cute, and they never are. And I'm gonna be on one of those things. They're gonna be like, "What is this man, this grown man, doing voices and making faces like the face that I'm making, this exact face that I'm making right now while I'm looking off into the distance? Like, what is this face that I'm making exactly right now, huh?" And I put exactly in the wrong spot when I did that sentence right there, and I said "did" instead of "said." Damn it! Back to the forum. I have a forum online. I had my fans write in questions. So they wrote in questions. I have a bunch of them here. Have you ever gotten naked and rubbed butter all over your naked body? Ben from Alabama. No, I haven't done that. Do you like the way belly buttons whistle when people fall off buildings? Scott from Alaska. Okay, does anybody write real questions here? What's your favorite movie, dipshit? Al from South Dakota. Like, I would have answered if you didn't say dipshit. Like, why'd you have to say dipshit after that? Do you prefer poop or pee? Hup from Virginia. Is that even a real name? Fave Book. Dan from Mississippi. He spelled it F-A-V-E. Fave Book. There's wars and stuff going on, and I'm doing this. I just don't know how to be a human being. That's my problem. Yeah, Jimmy, I know. So my issue is I don't know how to be a human being. So I get nervous around people that are acting normal. Do you have any open mic stories? Tim from Minnesota. Well, Tim, thanks for having the only normal question. The thing about open mics are... So when I first got into comedy, I thought everything was funny. Now I don't think anything's funny. So I don't know if these stories are going to hold up, but I'll try. I really do this. I really do make fun of the cats. Think I'm not yelling at you. I'm not yelling at you. Okay? have a professional microphone here. I'm not yelling at you. Oh, what are you doing? If you could see him, he's... What are you doing? What are you doing? He's standing there like this. That's actually the girl cat. She's like... So back to the open mic stories. I have I'm gonna edit this. It's gonna be edited. I'm sorry. It's gonna be like I watch YouTube and stuff like that. I'm doing the exact thing that I hate that people do. They think they're quirky and weird and they're doing voices and they're being silly. And I'm doing the same motherfucking thing. And I don't think it's funny. Even though I just laughed right there. I don't think it's funny, okay? I think it's disgusting. I actually get disgusted when I watch quirky, weird people online. They're like, hey guys, what is it with YouTube videos where they start out every YouTube video? I watch, so my girlfriend's daughter watches these people play video games. The person is always so enthusiastic. And I'm like, that's not how people... Like, oh my God, I went around the corner. Oh my God, he's right there. And they laugh like, and I'm just like, what? I feel like I'm going insane. But I'm doing the same motherfucking thing right now. To feel like a normal person. I'm gonna break my keyboard. Had this 17 years. I bought this when I started taking piano lessons, probably about 5 years ago. I wanted to be held accountable because people are like, just go on YouTube, you can figure it out. But I wouldn't hold myself accountable. So what I did is I was paying $100 a month for this guy who was really cool, whatever. I'm not like putting him down or whatever. And he had a good hustle going, but he gave me this book and it was like all these like twinkle, twinkle, little. See how much I learned. But so anyways, he taught me the basics. He's like, put your hands here. So I did all that. But talk about being held accountable. It was so embarrassing because I wouldn't practice during the week, and I'd come back and it would just be me and him in his little tiny office, and he'd be like, all right, show me what you learned. And I'd be like, I didn't practice. And he'd be like, I don't give a shit because you're giving me $100 a month, so we're just going to go over what we went over last week. And I'm like, oh, God. What did I just say there? When I first started doing open mics, sorry, I just my batteries ran out. You didn't see, but behind me there's a little guy. He changed my batteries. He put them back, so I'm back. So I started getting into comedy, and I went to open mics, and I would think everything is funny because I had a friend. You know, people that you know, and there's things that happen to them that it's just funnier when it happens to them, or it's like people who aren't trying to be funny and then they're funny when they're not trying to be funny. Do you know people like that?
You know people like that? Imaginary people I'm talking to right now? Do you know what I'm talking about?
So people, I guess one of the rules of podcasts is don't ask questions because there's nobody fucking there to answer them. There's certain kinds of people that it's just funnier when it happens to them, and they're funny without trying, but then when they try to be funny, they're not funny. But this guy who got me into it, he was both. He was funny when he tried, and he was funny when he wasn't trying to be funny. But one time we went to an open mic. It was at this crazy bar, and it was a mixed mic, which means there was black people and white people. No, it means that there was they mixed it with music and poetry and all that stuff, but it was mostly just music. But we were invited to go, and so we went to the mic. The musicians were amazing. They were incredible. They were mind-blowing. They're like, hey mama, so whatever, that did the whole shit, and it was wild and crazy, and everybody's like, yeah, they're all cheering and dancing, and then they'd be like, all right, next up is jelly, and I'd go up there and I'd be like,
I was walking, my shoe fell off. I was like, whoa, where'd my shoe go?
So it was just like stuff like that. My friend, he whispers in my ear before he goes up, he goes,
watch this.
And he goes on stage. And this is when we were both new. We're both just getting into comedy. We're both starting out. So we're kind of like, we really don't know how to do crowd work yet or know how to do like certain things. So he goes on stage and he like kind of like winks at me like,
wait till you see what I got up my sleeve.
He goes to the bartender.
Hey, let me get a Jack and Coke.
And the bartender's like, we're actually out of, we don't have any Jack Daniels. And he's like,
oh, you have rum?
And she's like, yeah, we have rum. What kind do you want? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And he named some rum. And she's like, we don't have that one. He's like, oh, well, do you have, what's the cheap? Give me the cheapest one. She's like, all right, that'll be $8.50. And he's like, oh, $8.50. He's like, oh, I got this 20 here. He's like, can I get change? He's like trying to reach over it. Somebody else grabbed it from him, gave it to the bartender. And she's like, how much you want back? And he's like, I don't know, like $5. And I'm sitting there and I'm crying laughing because I realized he's like, oh, what he wanted to do is order a drink on stage. And he thought it was going to be this smooth little thing where he orders a drink and they get the money back. And he's like, all right, guys, you see how fucking cool I just was right there? And he's going to drink out of his little straw and he's going to do his fucking set. But they didn't have the alcohol and he needed change and he didn't know how much change he wanted. And it was this whole back and forth to the point where the guy next to me is like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I was like, he's doing comedy. And he's like, I don't get it. And I was like, I don't get it either. It was funny. You had to fucking be there, okay? You're going to fucking watch this and you're going to fucking judge me right now? You're going to judge me on a story and you weren't even fucking there. You would have had to live my life up until that fucking moment, knew these people, experienced what I experienced, and been me, and you would have fucking thought it was hilarious. But you're going to fucking sit there and judge me? Who are you? Don't judge me. You don't know me. I'm sick and tired of people just judging each other. You go out and do it. What are you sitting in your fucking little house right now? You're like, oh, what is this? I'll stop and watch it. This is dumb. This is lame. Who is this guy? Fuck you. That's who I am. I'm sick and tired of it. People make a movie. People make music. People do this. And you're going to fucking judge me over it? That went on a little too long. In my head at the same time while I was saying it, I was like, all right, when am I going to laugh to let them know that I'm joking around? All right. Imagine this is the thing that goes viral. Imagine this goes viral and I become a fucking superstar where I got to act like this all the time. People will meet me on the street and they'll be like, hey, remember when you were like, woo? And I'm going to be like, no, that's not who I am, actually. I'm this serious, straight-faced, angry human being. About everybody's heard about the bird. Do you ever just want to do that? Do you ever just want to be like in the middle of a grocery store or just anywhere and just be like, what everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird's the word, where the bird, bird, bird. The bird's the word, where the bird, bird. Happen to have a keyboard in your pocket. Bird, bird, bird. Just draw attention from everybody. I'm like, what's wrong with him? Nothing, we're all gonna die. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy that we're all gonna die, but Jimmy, I heard you! Stop! Isn't it crazy we're all gonna die, but we gotta act like we're not gonna die? We think we know we're gonna die, but we don't really understand it, right? We just like, I'm gonna live forever. And then you have like a near-death experience. You go to the doctor, he like looks at your knee, and he's like, your knee's gonna fall off. And you're like, oh my God. And it makes you like reevaluate your whole life. And you're like, holy shit, I'm living the wrong way. But even then, you don't really understand it, right? And I'm gonna come here and tell you that I do understand it. I get it. I've had a panic attack once, and I thought I was gonna actually die. I thought it was a stroke. I was like, I'm having a stroke now, and I accepted death. I was like, oh, I'm gonna die now. And I fucking didn't. And look at me now, following my dream. It's just crazy that we're all gonna die and we act like we're not gonna die. That's why I say, go out there and do it, man. Just kidding. What does that even mean? People are being bombed right now. Go out there and get it. You gotta hustle, man. You gotta just hustle. It's like, who are you talking to? People in America? That's it. That's all. That's the only, like, people in first world countries where there's no war. Imagine some kid in like starving in some other country. Bombs are going off. He's hiding in an attic or a closet, eating breadcrumbs, feeding the breadcrumbs to a little mouse that is his only friend. Then he's so hungry that he has to eat the mouse. Then he happens to find a phone somewhere and he turns it on. He's like, he sees some guy. He's like, you got to go out there. You got to get after it, man. You got to get after it. You got to wake up at 4 a.m. and you got to get after it. You got to do your stretches. You got to hustle, man. You got to hustle. This little kid will be like, I just ate my best friend. I don't know what accent that was. I'm so sorry. I just ate my best friend. It was an Italian accent, okay? Oh my God, I ate my best friend. Oh my God, I ate my best friend. I used to work at a camp with my best friend, and we had it was just like him and I against all these people, but not against them in a bad way. We had this running joke that it was like the Truman Show, and our lives were being filmed, and we were the stars of the show, and like each person that worked there was a different character. And this one guy, we used to call him "How do you," because he was Russian, and the joke was that he wasn't a good actor. So the joke was, one day out of nowhere, he just comes up to us and he's like, "Do you know where Tom is?" And we're like, "Whoa, what's going on?" So the running joke was that the director is like, "Okay, they're coming. You gotta jump out of the bushes and you gotta say, 'Do you know where Tom is?'" And he's like, I'm scared. I don't know what to do." Like, "Just jump out. He's coming. You gotta jump out. You gotta say, 'Do you know where Tom is?'" He's like, oh, they're there. Hurry, jump out." He's like, "Do you know where Tom is?" Because that's exactly how it went. Do you know how things get exaggerated in your head? Well, that wasn't one of them, because that's exactly how it happened. I keep looking off over there like something's going on over there because I'm afraid to look at the fucking camera. I should probably not curse, right? Fuck. I'm gonna wrestle this with releasing this for the next 3 weeks. I'll be laying in bed staring at the ceiling. I'll be like, "But that's the authentic me, motherfucker. People need to see." It's not. The authentic me is, "I just want to eat something." You have to find your authentic self. There is no fucking such thing as it. Shut the fuck up. I'm just my authentic... You know what my authentic self is? I gotta take a shit. Imagine I do release this and people are like, "Oh, your face is weird. Why do you do those faces? I know you as a little quiet guy that sits over there and laughs at everything." You know why I laugh at everything that everybody says? It's because I don't know what to say back. Because in my head I want to be like, "Well, yeah? Well, why don't you go try it out?" That's what I really want to do. "Oh, yeah, really? Really? Is that what you want to do?" That's what I want to do. I want to do that to them. So instead I'm just like, "Yeah. Ooh, yeah." I don't know how to respond like a normal person. Well, what you should do... People. What are we going to do with them, huh? What are we going to do to all these people? Oh, I wanted to see... All right, let me see what this is. Hello? How does this work? What's wrong, motherfucker?
What's wrong, motherfucker?
That's weird. That's enough of that. But yeah, this is a podcast. I hope it was informative. I hope you learned a little stuff about life, and I hope you learned that life's good and it can be bad, and it's in the middle, and it's everything, and it's nothing, and it's the most important thing in the world, and it's the only thing you got. If you really think about it, it's all you got. Your brain and your memories. So I'll have a little outro, I guess.